Hey, over here, just zoom in a little bit. Just one more time. So you're looking at footage right now being shot on the brand new DJI Mavic 3 Pro. I've had this drone for over a month now, but I'm gonna let the footage speak for itself. This right here this is the brand new DJI Mavic 3 Pro. And let's just take a quick second to appreciate the big micro 4/3 Hasselblad camera with 3 lenses on the front. We have a 24mm 1x lens. We have a 70mm 3x lens. And wait for it, we have a 7x 166mm lens that now is in the sky that we can capture high quality photos and video with. We are generations in on the Mavic right now, and the technology that exists in this drone truly is inspiring, and this is going to be a game-changing, I don't say that lightly, this is a game-changing tool for drone enthusiasts and people who tell stories with a drone and have a camera in the sky. Now specifically, I do want to speak to my first experience of putting this camera up. I went on a trip to Iceland and we were on our first day. I was like, all right, let's test this drone before we get out into like the real locations. I put the drone up, there was a sunset over the mountains. This is mind-blowing how close I am on these mountains in consideration how far the drone was away. This looks amazing. There's insane detail and depth to these shots on the 7x camera. Now, obviously, once I brought that into post-production, you can start to nitpick at it and pixel peep, and you're like, all right, it's a little softer around the edges. But when you're comparing it to the previous drone, it is miles ahead of that punched in footage that we saw before. Now, a few things I do want to note is, now we have 10-bit footage. So when you are color grading, you have a lot more color profile. You only have D-Log though on the 1x. You have something called D-Log M on the 3x, and you have no picture profile on the 7x. Those are things to consider when you are shooting. This is the drone that I've always wanted to be able to capture sequences in the sky. I can get my wide, I can get my medium, and now I can get detail shots without having to fly the drone closer for a 3x or a 7x shot that is high quality. And the parallax, oh, the freaking parallax that you can get out of the 7x is so sick. We had our friend Siggy on top of the mountain, and now I'm getting shots of mountains parallaxing out the background. I also love that you're getting 60 frames per second across all the cameras. You got no limitations. But one of the limitations that we do have is that you can't shoot vertical. So if you do want to shoot content for social media, you will have to try to crop in on your shots in post-production. So keep that in mind when you're doing like 9:16 shots that you want to consider for social media. Having no vertical mode is okay. I can live without that. That's why they have other drones in their lineup to be able to sort the social media needs. I will call it out, I did crash this drone, and that's because when you are shooting with the 3x and the 7x, your depth perception gets thrown off. So as I was flying it in sport mode really fast without the sensors on, I was flying really low to the ground, and I didn't know that the ground was changing because it's snow, and I crashed the drone. But one of the things to note here is that it still kept flying, and the gimbal was fine. For the rest of the trip, I had no issues. So this drone withstood a crash and then kept flying after it crashed. The build quality of this drone feels professional, like all of the other drones that they've built in the past. The fan is on. The fan on this drone is a little loud. So why don't we take the battery out there? Sorry about that. Sponsored by Motion Array. This video is brought to you by our sponsor, Motion Array. Now, I do want to tell you a story. I have a video production company. It's called Know How Media Inc. And I started that a couple years ago. And when I started that business, I wanted to increase my production quality on my videos so I could charge more money for my clients and ultimately get more business because the videos looked good. I would spend anywhere from $300 to $500 a month on music and After Effects templates for the videos that I was working on. And sure, I could reuse those assets again on future videos, but mostly I was buying them for specific videos that I was working on. And I didn't mind doing that because ultimately it added value and I was able to charge more money and make more money for my business by investing into those things. But here's the thing, that was 6 years ago. Now we have websites like Motion Array. Like, I wish I had access to a website and a membership plan like this then 6 years ago, and now you only have to pay $30 a month to get access to over 700,000 different assets, including music, video template files, photos, and After Effects templates from a single website so that your post-production process is easier and faster. I wish I had that. That is part of the secret sauce of how to get more clients and make your videos look better and get more subscribers. Like, I use these assets in the video that you're watching right now. This music that you're listening to, the little location tags that I had there, these are all from Motion Array. This is how I use this stuff in my video production process to make my videos better. So thank you, Motion Array, for sponsoring this video. If you guys are interested in checking out Motion Array, it's only $29 a month. But if you use my link in the description below and sign up for an annual subscription, you will save $50 off. So that will make it $199 versus $249. So click that link if you want to support this channel. Thank you, Motion Array, for sponsoring this week's episode. All right, so let's talk about the controller that comes with this drone. This is the DJI RC Pro controller, and this is the one. Now, one of the things that I noticed from the previous Mavic to this one, including this controller and the settings, is I can go up to 1,000 meters in altitude now. Previously, my ceiling was 500 meters, and now you can go 1,000. So when we were in Iceland, we could literally scale mountains with this drone and just stay in the comfort of the Jeep right at the bottom at base camp to be able to get the shots that we wanted, which is absolutely amazing. I remember reading on the spec sheet that you had 15 kilometers of range with this, and I can't believe that we now can put drones 1,000 meters up and 15 kilometers away in order to get the shots that we want. You have your normal cinematic shooting modes, your normal and sport mode. I mean, this drone flies. I mean, we were basically driving at like 60 or 50 miles per hour, and the drone was keeping up with the Jeeps in high winds in Iceland with the 7x camera, and you're still getting super steady shots. I mean, that's absolutely mind-blowing. But primarily, I think one of the most important parts of this RC Pro controller, one of the reasons I wanted to buy it for my previous Mavic 3, is because it has its own built-in dual band frequency setting, which means that you have more reliable image transmission and more reliable input. Now, where I experienced this in the past, where I wish I had this controller, was in Greenland last year, where I had two friends who were also flying Mavic 3 Pros, and I just had my Mavic 3 with the old controller, yet they were able to fly further without any issues, and I was having dropped signal because it was interfering with all the other signals that were going on in the area. So I can highly recommend it after using it, especially in Iceland. Another nice feature is that you can also connect your DJI goggles to this remote, and you can actually fly in a FPV mode, which I really like. It's not exactly the same as FPV that you would experience with any of the FPV drones in the DJI lineup or other FPV drones, but at least you can kind of get that look. And one of the reasons why I like that you have this feature in addition to your normal modes is that you get more out of this drone instead of having to lug more drones with you when you're traveling. In terms of the photo side, you do only get 20 megapixels on the 1x, you get 48 megapixels on the 3x, you get 12 megapixels on the 7x. I did notice on the 7x camera when I was in Lightroom and editing that like it was a bit noisy and didn't look exactly how I wanted, especially in lower light conditions. And so I just use a program called Topaz Labs in order to like clean up that shot, and then it looks absolutely amazing. And that's just another thing to consider in terms of the post-production process. Okay, some other things that I like and kind of my final thoughts all wrapped into one. One of the things I did really appreciate that DJI did with this drone is it lets you use the old batteries from the previous Mavic 3 lineup, which is a really nice thing that there's not a new proprietary battery with this drone. You do get 43 minutes of flight time, which is 2 minutes less than the previous model, and that's probably because the cameras are working harder because it's a bigger camera that's on the end of it. Those are my final thoughts. If you guys like this video, please press like, go down there and press it. It actually makes a difference. Subscribe and hit the bell to be notified for future videos, and we'll most definitely catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching this video. And what are your current thoughts on the drone market these days? Is this something that you might consider upgrading to? Is this something that you want in your arsenal? What did you think of the footage? I'd also love to know what you think of my drone piloting skills. All right, bye everybody. Peace. Hi.